Active Environment Center in Boston hired me for 3 months to do an internship with them. My dad would drive me up to Boston one day a week to do my internship. After my internship was over, I had very few options left to me as far as work and living arrangements were concerned, so I moved to Cape Cod with my parents. I continued looking for work while I lived on Cape Cod, but again with no long-lasting success. What to do? I asked myself. I'm the kind of person who needs to do something. Watching television for 12 hours a day is like being in prison to me. I always had a fascination with music and making music. I spent a little money on a new computer, some notation software, and a little device called a sound generator. The notation software and the sound generator, plus moving into a Windows platform, were all kind of new to me, but I wanted to learn. I really wanted to make music. We used tech support, like planes used jet fuel. This was at a time when you could actually get a human being on the telephone. When all my technical issues were solved, I started making music. I will never forget the day I discovered I could play 2 or more instruments at once. In the late 80s, any kind of music computer program would only play one note at a time. Harmonizing was out of the question. Go ahead 5 years later, and I had the ability to put a whole symphony together on the computer. The tone generator produced all the instrument sounds. It was incredibly liberating, and continues to be my source of enjoyment when I have time, that is. After doing music for about a year, I wanted to do something a little different. My job prospects in the architecture field still couldn't even fill a thimble. I needed something to do other than composing music. I read books on writing novels in the past, and always had an appetite to concoct stories. Like a bolt of lightning, this story came to me out of the blue. I knew I had to write it. I spent the next 3 months doing the outline. It took me 3.5 years to write the first draft. I am thrilled to report, after 13 years since I started my novel, it will be published very soon. A few years later, someone asked me to design a business card for them. Of course, I couldn't say no, and I have been designing business cards ever since. Did I ever imagine 20 years ago that I would be designing business cards as a sideline? No. In 1988, I didn't know that people made a living designing business cards. A new opportunity always brings you to different places in your life. You have new experiences. A few years ago, I set out to try and get business card business from local car dealerships. My friend, Kathy, and I probably hit 20 in 3 months. Most of them were kind and allowed me to tell them about my business cards I design. One day we went to a Honda dealership in Johnston, Rhode Island. A young man appeared, and we explained our purpose for coming. We must have waited 45 minutes for the general manager to come down to tell us the dealership gets their business cards from Honda headquarters. You couldn't tell me that 40 minutes ago. Come on now. He was probably hoping that we would get sick of waiting and leave. Let me tell you that I wasn't giving up that easily. I knew I had a good product, and I knew I could handle a substantial order. If people tell me they want to buy a Honda, I tell them not to go to Metro Honda, all because of the lack of respect I received. My message here today is life doesn't always turn out like the way you envisioned. Everybody has dreamed about their future and how they want it to be. I don't know anyone whose life turned out exactly how they want it to be, but it seems most people are thankful for what life has given to them. Some get a little more, Some get a little less. Am I disappointed in the way my life has turned out? Not at all. If your life has meaning in whatever you end up doing, then you will be happy with your choices. Find a cause to support. Find something that you are passionate about and dive right in. Enjoy the things you do. I am discovering that I can make a difference in the disability community, sharing my experiences with others, like yourselves, so that you will have an idea that you have a say in your future. Don't allow people to convince you that your choices are wrong. Make those discoveries for yourself. But at the same time, listen to suggestions from people that are around you. That is how we learn. That is how we grow as individuals. Don't ever stop learning and growing. Don't settle for anything less than what's possible. I thank you all.